So today it's Saturday, the 24th of October, and I decided I'm going to give these video updates a bit of a go. So I'd intended on doing an update at the start of college, like I usually do, as to how the summer had gone and what I was expecting for the next while. But I just didn't get around to it. There's been a huge amount going on. One of the things that's happened is that I've decided to take on a full year in college, and it's been a huge step up because the last 2 years I did half a year at a time, and it's been a massive step up in terms of like workload and actual hours in college. So it's between 20 and 30 hours a week before of contact time before any of the reports or continuous assessment start. So trying to find a balance with college and all the other things that I'm involved in has been interesting over the last couple of weeks, definitely. So one of the things that I did this year was that I decided to join a new society. So I decided to join Enactus, and through that I'm getting involved in a couple of cool projects. And I'll be able to tell you about more of that later. But I'm also meeting some really amazing people doing that. And outside of Enactus, I'm also involved in a couple of really brilliant projects that I think will hopefully make a good difference to a couple of people. So when I have more concrete things on that, I'll tell you about it. But I might leave you in a bit of suspense for a little while first. So I'm still trying to get to the gym regularly, and that's really important to me because I just don't feel right in myself if I'm not working out and making sure that I'm keeping healthy. But it has been a bit of a challenge with having a lot more contact time in college, but I'm still getting there. Maybe depending on the week, either 3 times or maybe only once, but still beating personal bests on the rower. I'm starting to get back into my weights program and standing program, and it's been going really well. So body's feeling good for the most part. I've definitely noticed that I'm a bit stronger this year, and pushing up and down college doesn't seem that big of a deal compared to previous years. But I worked it out, and I'm pushing up and down to college from my accommodation to where my lecture halls are, up and down 2 or 3 times a day. It works out on average about 3 kilometers that I'm pushing every day, 5 days a week. And so it does sort of, when you've got limited muscle function, it does put a bit of strain on the muscles. And for the second or third week I was back, I was actually in a huge amount of pain with sort of repetitive strain injuries on my arm. So there is that kind of balancing of, you want to do it all, but you have to be a little bit careful at the same time and take care of yourself. So aside from all that kind of stuff, I'm also, over the past couple of months, I've been trying to get a car on the road, and I've started learning to drive, and I'd hoped that it would all be up and running for when I got back to college, but it hasn't really worked out that way. And so it's hard to fit in the lessons when you're in college all week and you come home and you've loads of stuff to catch up on. But I am slowly getting there. The roads mightn't be a very safe place when I'm out by myself for the first while, but I'll give you all good warning, don't worry. So I suppose to take it back a little bit from all college and all of that kind of thing, one of the biggest things and biggest breakthroughs for me this year was obviously the trip to the States, and there's plenty more coming on that in the next little while. But because I had to streamline all my processes and all the equipment that I used so much for going out there, because I had limited space and I wanted to make everything as efficient as possible, it really made me think about things, and now I've really streamlined everything that I do, and it's been a real new lease of life, because the biggest thing for me this summer was that coming home from the States, I could just head off for a weekend with my mates with just a rucksack and a transfer board, and it was brilliant. It was really liberating for me because I felt no different to anyone else heading off for the weekend, and that was fantastic. And it's allowed me to head over to the races in Galway, down to Athlone for weekends with some of the lads around different places in Ireland, in and out of town for nights out and stuff, and over to Cardiff last weekend for the rugby, and none of it's a big deal anymore, and it's really nice to get to that stage where things are just seem really very easy and straightforward, and if you don't make a big deal out of it, it doesn't have to be a big deal, just go into it with the right attitude, and anything is very straightforward, So the trip to the States has been just a pivotal thing for me. It's a bit dramatic to say it, but in my life, I suppose. And it really reinvigorated me on a lot of fronts, and it gave me a lot of clarity. And I suppose overall, since I've come back in particular, it's led to me really embracing and leading and living a lot more of my life and what's going on around me than I had been for the past number of years. And I really feel like it's just so much easier for me now to just get out there and not to hold back and to just do it. Like it stands on all fronts, and it's great. I'm really aware that today is the first day that I've actually gotten a chance to chill out a bit in the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to leave it there. I've probably rambled on for long enough, just over 7 minutes. So I hope everyone's keeping well. Thanks again for tuning in and keeping in touch. Everyone's always getting in touch with me, so I really appreciate it, and I love hearing from everyone, and so keep it up. I hope you're all keeping well, guys, and enjoy the rest of the rugby.